basketball tournament sponsored by the Akron, Ohio Club of the Deaf in 1945, the American Athletic Union of the Deaf was born, later renamed the American Athletic Association of the Deaf. The AAAD has grown to over 150 participating athletic clubs in the United States. This organization provides a healthy and competitive outlet for young and not so young deaf men in sports and helps to unify deaf people as a whole. The American Athletic Association of the Deaf serves as the parent organization for regional athletic associations, continues to hold annual national basketball and softball tournaments, works with the World Games for the Deaf, and was the first national deaf organization to prohibit racial discrimination.
In a former program, we discussed the idea of conceptually accurate signed English. Case: it is a very important concept in signing clear PSE.
If a person tries to use a sign for every English word, the sentence meaning is lost. Natural sign language is not linear like English. It's the building up of parts to form a picture. It's important to think of the concept you're trying to convey, not just the English word or words.
An example of how word-for-word translations of English do not make sense in a visual language is to look at English idioms. In the sentence, he was turned down for a date, he was not physically turned over, he was rejected or turned down.
Let's look at some English words and phrases that have a number of meanings and sign them according to their correct concepts. Made up. I made up my mind. I made up my bed before going to work. I made up a poem.
Fan. Turn on the ceiling fan. I fan myself at church. The fans watched the football game.
Beat. Beat in 2 eggs. We beat the other team. One man beat up the other man. Like. I like that picture. That car is like my car.
So, although the English words sound alike, the signs are different to represent the different concepts.
And interestingly, signing actually communicates more specific information, like whether a fan is an electric ceiling fan or a hand fan. Remember, sign the concept, not the word.
Anna Rinaldi will tell you a story about growing up on a farm. Watch closely and see how much you understand as she signs the story without voice. Then she'll repeat the story, and we will add voice to help you. How much did you understand? Now watch the story again, this time with voice to help you.
I grew up on a farm. Every morning, I had to get up at 5 a.m. to do my chores before I went to school. If I didn't get up on time, my parents would make me finish my work first before I left for school. My father had a famous saying, "Learning will wait, the chickens won't." I knew what he meant because I wouldn't want to miss my breakfast every morning either. But I loved school, so I made sure I got up early every morning so I wouldn't be late for school. My children are lucky. They don't have to get up at 5 a.m. to feed the chickens before they go to school.
Well, that was an interesting part in today's program about fingerspelled loan signs. Using them and getting used to them takes practice.
Maybe so. One thing I've noticed is that hearing people tend to want a sign for every English word, even little ones like if and it. Deaf people just spell them. It's faster and easier. In fact, if is sometimes used as a loan sign like this, if.
And I see the sign what do often, which is spelling D and O rapidly with the palm up, meaning, what are you doing? What are you going to do?
We hope you are putting together all of your learning and practicing with your deaf friends. Pay special attention to communicating concepts, not words. See you next time for On the Other Hand.